Guess what this video is about? That's right. It's about the Leatherman Charge TTI. Let's see how close this camera will focus. Not much closer than that. But that's okay. I'm doing this in HD so you can get a better look at the tool. I've been carrying this for 5 years. Does it look like it's 5 years old? Look, let me get a good close look. Now, if you look down in here, oopsie daisy. I gotta get this in the camera. Anyway, 5 years. Now that's a review. Every other review you will see on YouTube has this thing, oh, they bought it in the store and they used it for a couple of weeks, so now they're going to review it. This is 5 years, folks. This has spent 5 years in my pocket, and one of the most amazing, phenomenal things about this Charge TTI is that I've carried it in my pocket for 5 years, and I haven't lost it. Yeah, that's amazing, right? But, I mean, you can see where occasionally some of the lubricant drips out of. You can just wipe that off. But the only improvement I could think of that I would like to see Leatherman do for this tool is have replaceable cutters right here, because after being on the fence rows and having an impromptu electric fence and stuff, these here have got worn out. I mean, they're not worn out, but they still work, but how should I put it, when you're trying to work with little tiny wires like that go to a radar detector, some real low amperage stuff, I find it's a little hard to cut that real fine stuff like it used to be. So if these here were replaceable, this part right here, that would just be phenomenal. I know they do it on the bigger ones, but if they could replace that on this. And I know they have, I could probably send it off to Leatherman and they would replace that for me. But I don't know. It's sentimental now. I've carried it for 5 years. Part of my soul has been transferred to this tool. But it's tough, and it's been dropped. It's just been everything. Surprisingly enough, the scissors still work. I mean, let's see here. Let's still cut a little bit of hair here. Yeah, see? They're still fairly sharp. I don't use the scissors that much, but they come in handy occasionally, okay? For small items. Here is something that gets used more than I ever thought it would. The Eyeglass Tool. That little bitty, it has a Phillips on one end, and you can pull it out, and it has the standard on the other. The Eyeglass Tool. You wouldn't wonder how many times I've saved the day by adjusting somebody's cheap sunglasses with that little tool right there. Plus, it also comes in good on when you're doing a Anderson power pole and you're trying to put those little bitty wires in, and you have to poke it down in that little tiny hole. Excellent for putting together the Anderson power poles. Now, some people call that a screwdriver. It could be a big screwdriver, but mostly it's used for prying open paint cans. That is the paint can opener. That's what it's there for, folks. It's to open paint cans. You got to get in that edge of the paint can and pop it up. That's what that's used for. And then on that side, that's pretty much it. Of course, everybody knows it's got measuring things. I have used that measuring thing more times than I ever thought I would. So the measuring thing, of course, you got the pliers, and they still, after 5 years, they still come together. We can focus. Anyway, they're good, still together. The teeth are all still there. Above light on here, maybe it'll help it focus. Okay. The biggest thing I use is the clip. Now, this clip is removable. You don't have to have that. you can just push in the little thing and pop the clip off. But I have found, instead of carrying it in a case, I carry it with a pocket clip. Unless I'm with my, what do you call it, my bag, my EDC bag, then just pop it, and that's the way I carry it most of the time, right there. Unless I'm carrying it in my bag, and then I'll put it in its holster, and then it has extra bits. I have extra bit capability, and I'll get to that on this side over here. These are where you keep the replaceable bits, and I just keep the standard Phillips head on one side and the flat head on the other, because that's what I use most of the time. Now, I would love to see if they ever came out with a model that maybe had a space on the side where you could just clip a couple of those to the tool. Put a couple of extra bits, like a couple of torque bits or something, and keep it attached to the tool instead of having it on something separate. But anyway, that's what I generally keep there, and a little hard to get out if you don't have any good strong fingernails. This right here, right down here on the bottom edge, that's actually a wire stripper. It takes a little practice, but it works. It's effective, and of course you got your can opener there, and can opener, bottle opener in one. And as you can see, it's still all the tools in here after 5 years of use. Oh, let's go to the external tools, and the external tools are perfectly done. The bread knife with the little hook here. Now I seldom use that hook for anything, but this right here, I call it a bread knife. I don't use it that much because it's either I'm using this S30V blade or not the file, the saw. That saw comes in handy on little tree limbs when you're out here having to prune you want to prune a limb off of one of your trees or something, and you don't have your regular pruning stuff, and you just happen to notice one, and you want to take care of it right quick, or you want to notch something, cut notch, do small bushcrafting work. That saw is there. It will saw through a 2x4, but I'm not going to do it because it takes forever. But in a pinch, if you had to, it would do it. Let me cover this S30V blade. This was my first, not the only, but it's my first S30V blade that I've used. And I can say after daily use, it holds an edge well. And it doesn't take much to resharpen it. However, here's what I found through 5 years of experience. If you get your edge on there, get the good edge like you want it, next to your nightstand where you recharge your cell phone and everything, I keep a pair of ceramic rods, just like these. Well, matter of fact, most of the time I use these. And, take it out of your pocket, give it about 2 stripes each day, and I've never had to redo the blade since. Just giving it a couple of whacks on there to counter any paper or cutting that I've had to do that day. I think there's once or twice that I've had to work the ceramic stones more because I used it real heavy one day. But the S30V blade is, after 5 years, it's a little bit dirty, and but it's still it's held up well. Like I say, this is a generational tool that you can hand down to your youngsters if you want. Leave it to somebody in your will. The diamond and this thing right here has come in handy more times than I would think it would. The diamond side is real good for getting rust off of stuff and smoothing it, kind of like polishing the surface of something. And it's just come in handy, and it also has a file edge on one side. So if you want to notch in a piece of steel or something, you can do that. What else? Okay, we'd already covered the saw, the file. That's pretty much it. It does have a built-in lanyard thing here. Let's see if I can get it to come up. If you push this end down, it's got a gizmo that will pop up, and you could put a little lanyard thing in there. I've never used it. Like I say, I carry it in my pocket with the clip. And between this and oh, it's in my pocket. These two things are used every single day. Every day. I can't think of a day that doesn't go by that I don't use this or the flashlight for something. And you will not go wrong with this. Now, this isn't the largest one. This isn't the smallest one. But as far as EDC goes, if you choose one of these, you will not go wrong. It's just not a bad choice at all. And that's my 5-year review.